Today I'm going to be doing student video 3, which is subtracting rational expressions with unlike denominators. So the first thing I need to do is get my denominators the same. So I'm going to go down here, and with the first denominator I'm going to write it 3x squared plus 14x minus 5. So I need to multiply these, which gives me negative 15x squared. When you're finding the x squared, I just write so that I know I don't forget it when I put it in my equation after. So I'm going to do the x method, which is negative 15, and then I'm going to need to get this 14 right here. So these two numbers need to multiply to give me negative 15 and positive 14. So it's going to be negative 1 and 15. So that will multiply and give me 15, and then this right here will give me 14. So the next thing I need to do is substitute these two numbers for this 14. It's going to be 3x squared plus 15x minus 1x minus 5. And with this, I try to make sure that whatever side I put these two numbers on, it will factor with the other number that's already in there. Oh, forgot my x right there. So if you look at this, you know that 3x will come out of this problem. So I'm going to do 3x factored out, which will give me x plus 5. And then I'm going to go over to this side of my equation, and I'm going to factor out negative 1. So this is going to be negative 1 on this side, and then x plus 5. And then you look that these two are the same, so that can transfer into just one parentheses, and then this one will go into 1 for my denominator. So 3x minus 1, and then x plus 5. So that's going to be my first denominator for the first equation from the problem. So I'm going to go up here, and then this is going to be 7 over 3x minus 1, parenthesis, and then x plus 5, parenthesis. Now I'm going to do this one right here. So right down here, I'm going to do the same exact method as I did before. And then so I'm going to multiply these ones right here, which is going to give me a negative 18x squared. So then I'm going to do the x method, which I did on the first problem. So it's going to be negative 18 and then 7. So whatever I put in these two is going to multiply to negative 18, but add together to be positive 7. So it's going to be 9 and negative 2. It doesn't matter if you put the negative on the top or on the bottom, as long as you know that they will multiply and add. So then over here, I'm going to do the same thing I did in problem, but I'm going to put the negative 2 first, because 6 and negative 2 will factor out easier than if it was 2 and 3. So 6x squared minus 2x plus 9x minus 3. It's going to do the same thing, split it in half so that I know that I'm factoring this side. So on this one, I'm going to take out 2x, so that's going to leave me with 3x minus 1. And then for this second one, I'm going to take out 3, so it's going to be positive 3, and that's going to leave me with 3x minus 1. So I'm going to do the same thing since these two are the same, and I'm going to put these ones in the parentheses. So 2x plus 3, and then 3x minus 1. So this is going to be my new denominator for the second half of the equation. So then x minus 1 all over 2x plus 3, parentheses 3x minus 1. So when subtracting these, we need to get the same denominators. So if you look at these, this 3x minus 1 is already on both sides. So first thing I'm going to do is times the top and the bottom by x plus 5, and then times the top and the bottom of this one by 2x plus 3. So then so whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So this is going to be 7. This is going to be 7 times 2x plus 3, and then minus x minus 1, x plus 5, all over 3x minus 1, 2x plus 3, and then x plus 5. For the denominator, it doesn't matter which order these go in because it is multiplication. So then I'm going to factor these ones, that one there, and then this one here, and then those right there. So then this 7 times 2x is going to give me 14x plus 21. And then I'm going to factor this negative sign with this. It's negative 2x. And this is going to be plus 5x minus 1x plus 5. So then this is all going to be over the same denominator that I had before, which is going to be 3x minus 1, 2x plus 3, and x plus 5. So the next thing I need to do is going to be combine like terms on the top of the equation. So the first thing I'm going to do, I did put the negative 1 in front of the x just so that I know it's a 1, or you could just leave it as x, it doesn't really matter. So then I'm going to do 14 plus 5 minus 1. Well, actually first I'm going to do this one because it is the highest leading term. So x squared plus 10x, and then I'm going to do the 21 plus 5, which equal plus 26. And this is all going to be over the same denominator that I had previously made, which is 3x minus 1, 2x plus 3, and then the x plus 5. And since this was a negative x squared, this is going to go down to the whole equation. You can leave it on top or just put it in the middle, it doesn't matter. And that is how you factor out rational expressions with unlike denominators.